Hey, Colabcoaching yet again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. Week number 2 of the addiction series. So excited to get into this week because we're going a little bit deeper. The topic/thought for this week is going to be deep, but we're going to be here to work it out together. So, without any further ado, the question/thought for this week is: which addictions are you attached to? Which addictions are you attached to? Now, as we talked about last week, some addictions can be healthy, can be unhealthy, depending on what they are. Now, we know if addiction is an attachment, it basically will be something that you're willing to let go of or some things you are not willing to let go of. Now, some addictions you can say to yourself and you can think to yourself, like, okay, I am addicted to certain foods, as I talked about last week, but I can easily let that go by not buying it. Whereas there are some addictions that you know you're attached to where you're telling yourself, I'm not going to let go of that, period. Now, we break down attachments and addictions a little bit differently. For addiction, for at least my opinion, a routine can become a habit, and a habit can become an addiction. Whereas an attachment, you're attached to something when you know that you're not willing to give up on it, you're not willing to let it go, and it is at a point where it is controlling your actions. That's what an attachment is. Now, when we combine those two together, a perfect example of this is when you have feelings for somebody in a relationship, and you are not necessarily attached to that person, but you're attached to the feeling that person gives you, such as when that person gives you time, when that person gives you affection, when that person gives you gifts. You're attached to that feeling and you're addicted to that feeling. Now, it becomes negative when you only care about the attachment and the addiction of those certain feelings. You're not worried about if that person is actually being faithful. You're not worried if that person is actually committed. You're not worried if that person is actually there for you wholeheartedly. It's more of a situation where you put a mask on. You only see what you want to see. You become jaded. You become blinded to the fact that as long as I'm getting that feeling, as long as I'm getting that need, I don't care about anything else. That's when an addiction becomes an attachment. We have to take a step back and actually look at ourselves and say, hey, this craving that I have, this feeling that I have, these habits that became an addiction, is this something that I need or is it just something that I want? A lot of times we confuse needs and wants because a need is something that you know is going to help you or is going to make sure that it's going to keep you to the point where you are growing and maturing. A want is something that you just like. It's just something that looks good. It's just something that piques your interest, and you're not really putting any effort into expanding on it. You just are stuck with the oh, this looks good to me. Oh, this feels good. Oh, I like being around this, and that's it. Whereas a need is something that you're literally expanding upon, such as self-love. You have to continuously expand upon that, such as self-care. It's something that you have to continuously expand upon it. Whereas lust is lust, and that's it. There's no extent to that. It's just, it is what it is. We have to take a step back and realize, okay, I know that I'm addicted to how this person makes me feel. What about the other person? Is this person actually enjoying my company the same way I am? Is this person actually appreciating the conversations that I get, that we have? Or is this person just literally appeasing certain things that I want just to shut me up, or just to keep me around, or just to pretend that life is a certain way so that this person could do what he or she wants to do on the side? We have to break exactly down what you're addicted to, if you're addicted to it, and if it becomes an attachment. You know, there's levels to it. We have to realize, okay, at first it was cool. At first it was an infatuation. At first I expressed what I wanted, what I liked, what I think was cool, but that person now has seen that and now is capitalizing on it. We have to take notification on if a person is just literally focused on just making you happy or helping you grow. Remember, someone that's really committed to your relationship or someone that's really committed to you is going to help you grow. They're not just going to keep you where you were when you met them. You really have to take a step back and realize, is this person just feeding an addiction that I have, or is this person really wanting me to overcome that addiction so that we can both move to another level in our lives? We can take this out of relationships as well. Let's put it in perspective. As maybe you're a type of person that used to go out to party, or you are that person that parties on certain days, like Friday, Saturday. You know, when you first went out, you liked it. You had some type of interest. If it filled your need, you liked the thrill for it. But over time, you know you're not getting the same thrill. You know that you're not getting the same feeling from it. You know that it's become a routine, and then it became a habit, and now it's become an addiction. You are losing money, you're losing time, and you're losing energy from that. And you're at a point in your life that you know that you're not getting the same things that you did before, but you're not able to break away from it because you're attached to it now. Every Friday, your body, your mind, your spirit is like, oh, Friday is time for us to go out. Oh, make sure we have money in our pocket. Oh, make sure we do this and do that to prepare for Friday. Whereas you know deep down that you're not really getting nothing from that. You're not getting any growth from that. You're not getting any perspective from that. You're not getting anything that you wasn't getting before. But you're just hoping and longing that you still get that feeling from it. Yes, there are some positives that you may get from that, but if the whole experience is negative, what's the point? Just like, yeah, you staying home on Fridays may be negative a little bit because you're so used to it, but in the long run, it's more positive because you're saving time, saving money, and you're using your energy towards something that you maybe neglected. So if you're thinking to yourself, okay, I have some addictions right now that have become attachments, and now they are at attachments to the point where I just don't know how to break free from them. I think the best thing for you to do right now is to acknowledge it, as we just said, and then realize, how did this happen? How did this routine become a habit, and then the habit became an addiction, and now this addiction is now an attachment in your life? Break free from the attachment by realizing how this became an addiction. Break free from the addiction when you realize, well, how did these habits start in the first place? Break free from the habit when you let go of the routine. Simple as that. So you're looking at me, you're like, okay, I know I have some addictions that are now attachments. What do I do? I heard what you said, but what do I do actually right now? Now, if you're ready, go ahead and go to my website, yocolabcoach.com. Go ahead and complete that relationship checklist. Sign up for that free 15-minute coaching session. You can see if we are a good fit for each other, and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about. Follow me on Facebook, Colab Coaching, Instagram, Colab Coaching. All my videos are on YouTube. Like and subscribe, Colab Coaching, so you don't miss out on the next episode, next chapter, whatever you want to call it, of this series. And watch my previous series as well. Share this with anyone that's struggling with attachments to their addictions. And thank you so much for watching, and be safe out there.